I've subtitled this session Between Hope and Hype because I want to discuss with you what's actually true with everything that is happening in artificial intelligence and what is still a lot of hype. My name is Laurijssen. I work for Worx as an evangelist and a researcher. I'm also affiliated with the University of Antwerp and the Antwerp Management School. HR loves AI, true or false? I've checked for several audiences in the fourth quarter of last year in Sweden and Belgium. And what is remarkable is that half of the people say, yes, this is true. I love AI. So I checked with the rest of the audience. So you think it's false. You don't love AI. And what most of them say is, no, I don't. I just don't know what it is. So we have a lot of ground to cover there to explain to people what AI is and what we can do with it. As OECD has already said, for better or for worse, AI is already making its way into the workplace. So yes, HR should already be caring about artificial intelligence just because it's there and it's changing the way that we work. 27% of all jobs are likely to be gone in a couple of years' time just for the cause of digitization and AI. So really we should be taking care as HR how this is evolving and in which industries it's going to tackle the most. AI is changing the world of work, as I said, and on different levels, and that's why HR is so important. The labor market is clearly so, but also on the side of the employer, we see that there's a lot of opportunities to use AI, for instance, to build a flexible shell of talent, to build a skills-based organization. Also there, AI will be changing the way that we recruit, the way that we build careers for people. And of course, workers are already busy with AI. They use it themselves. Maybe yourself, you have tried to use ChatGPT or other tools. So everybody knows that in terms of development of your career, you're going to have to cope with these new tools. So what are we actually talking about? Because it's all too easy just to talk about ChatGPT changing the world of work, because it is, but at the same time, there's a lot more. And that's why I would like to refer to defining AI in HR as, let's look at it as algorithmic HRM. I'm referring here to the use of software algorithms that operate on the basis of digital data to augment HR-related decisions and or to automate HRM activities. That's a lot. But if you break that down, it basically comes to the fact that we use or we generate digital data, we deploy algorithms to process those data, and the partial or the full automation of HRLM decision-making is crucial. These tools are changing decision-making in HR, in how we translate things, but is already making decisions about when people are working and what they get paid for, like in platform work, for instance. So a lot of things to think about how this is going to change and why you should be thinking about AI in the HRM workplace. So where do we see the biggest opportunities for AI in HR? If we break it down, you might say efficiency and automation, customer and employee experience, and like I said before, decision making. So from left to right, efficiency and automations, of course, we can think about planning and scheduling optimization. The tools can help us to just do a better job because they use the digital data. But we can use a lot more of that to actually optimize our knowledge, and especially in HR, tax, and legals. We can do also payroll optimizations and anomaly detection. So finding mistakes in large sets of data, AI can do a great job. And of course, generative AI, HR content generation is already happening. You probably have been using this yourselves to write vacancies, to write text, to work on your employer branding. All that is already making its way into the HR workplace. Secondly, customer and employee experience. Virtual assistants. I think you already know them. You probably have them as well. Sentiment analysis. Also there, we can do a lot of proactive and predictive work using AI. Personalized learning based on skills. We can use AI to actually find the skills that you need to develop for the next step in your career. AI will help you and nudge you to think about the next step that you have to take or the learning program you would have to pick up on. And last but not least, talent pooling based on skills. I think that all of you are facing problems to find and keep people at work. So a large part of the labor market, you're going to have to organize yourself. So organizing an internal labor market based on talent pooling and skills is going to help you to find the people that you need to actually do the jobs. So basically the people that you are looking for, you might already have recruited them. You just need to find them internally. Last but not least, I want to talk about decision making. Of course, AI tools, people analytics in general, can help us to build better analysis and to do more predictions on what is going to happen. This is an emerging field. It's quite new, and especially in talent, where we talk about strategic workforce management, this is a crucial skill. Last but not least, we also bring back together the AI generative large language models to actually do predictive analysis, for instance, on content, like what's going to happen in legislation and the likes. Finishing up, I also wanted to point out some of the challenges that we're facing with AI and HR. So it's not all great. There are things that we need to take into account. First of all, the bias challenge. You probably heard of this. Well, the system is just as smart as the person who built it and the data that you feed the animal. It means that, for instance, with facial recognition, we already saw some mistakes when facial recognition actually didn't recognize people from a different color. When the algorithm decides when you're going to work and what you're going to do at what price, for instance, in platform work, that becomes a whole new world. Also in the world of legislation, we're following up on this to see what happens, because this is becoming a very different situation in terms of work. Monitoring and oversight versus privacy. I think that in Europe we are quite good, and with all GDPR regulation that there is, we can do a lot of work, but still it is very important that we keep monitoring and oversight versus privacy in the back of our heads, because of course the tools are generating data themselves. That is very important that we face that. Job destruction versus creation. I think we're still optimistic, and most of the observers, most of the labor market specialists are. AI is changing the world of work. AI is destroying jobs, but at the same time, it is creating more jobs than ever before. So net below the line, there is still more job creation than there is job destruction. The challenge that we are facing is that the people that lose their jobs because of AI are probably not going to be the ones that are eligible for those new jobs. So a lot of things to be done in terms of reschooling and in terms of training. Last but not least, I think we all going to have to learn to work with a co-pilot, our new friend, a piece of technology that's becoming basically an extension of our brain, and that helps us to do things differently than we did ever before, probably more efficient and more productive in the end. Having said this, I think that is a call and a wake-up call for HR to reinvent it once again. I'm here referring to the latest model by Dave Ulrich, the famous HR guru, where he already referred to analytics designers and interpreters and technology and media integrators as roles that we need within HR. In this model, dating back already a number of years, we still see that AI is nowhere. It couldn't have been because it wasn't invented yet, but there should be definitely a certain center circle also focusing on AI and people analytics to serve HR better and to reinvent it once again. Thank you for listening. And in all cases, without whatever is happening in the world of work, whatever AI is doing, it's a great time to be in HR. See you next time.